Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy DivonIsBack, and today I'm going to be showing you, in my opinion, one of the best flak builds for bossing. This is more geared towards the casual player, and it uses your action skill ability fadeaway. Now, I'm not going to be using it for this run, just so you can see without my action skill how, like, just using the Krakatoa on its own with the rest of the skill tree activated, how effective it is. And then next run I will be using my fadeaway, so you can see just how important having that action skill as the one that you use is going to be a key component for this build. So for starters, here's the buffs and debuffs that are on this run for Mayhem Mode 4. I have plus 20% normal bullet damage, and enemy explosives have greater increased area of effect. So not too much with the buffs that helped me with this run right here that you just saw. And now we're gonna do our second run, and I'll get into the skill tree, what weapon I'm using with whatever anointment is on it, and etc, etc. Also, this build doesn't only work for Grave Ward, it works for any boss. Just obviously hit your crit spots. It's a critical heavy build. Flak on its own is a critical heavy character. So just keep that in mind whenever you're using this build. You should be hitting crit spots. Just practice, practice makes perfect. You're not going to get them all every single time, but the more frequently you're hitting them, the more stacked buffs you get for this character. So I like to stand right here, because whenever he leans this platform, I don't slide. Pop my fadeaway, and I kill him 9 out of 10 times with 6 bullets left in the chamber. It's a forcing bullet chamber. I sometimes kill him with 7 or even 8, but that's just because of the buffs that are in the lobby itself, not because of anything different with the build. So let's see. And with max debuffs, I've killed him with, I think, 2 bullets left in the chamber, but you're still gonna kill him in a clip nonetheless. So the weapon I'm using is the Krakatoa. Grave Ward does drop it himself, so does Rampager. I'm using the on action skill and deal plus 25% more weapon damage to badass, named, and boss enemies. Now you can use this, you can use the plus 100 weapon damage, works just as fine. It's a little bit less obviously, but it works perfectly fine. This is the level 57 version. This is with the new level cap that just came out. I am using an AM shield, the rerouter. You don't need an AM shield. If you don't have it, you can always use any shield that gives you plus 50% incendiary damage on action skill end. That works well too. And I'm not even using a max level 57 build. As you can see, I'm using a level 46 class mod, and mainly because I like the green and the red skill tree points that it gives me, along with the plus 35% additional damage and the plus 29% sniper rifle damage. That's what's mainly important on this, is that the plus 29% sniper rifle damage really does make a difference. That, along with your grenade being plus 50% incendiary, and I have this just so I could get better loot, but as a icing on the cake, I did get one with plus 20% sniper rifle damage. Any of those feeling lucky, the indirect text artifacts will be good for this build. So I'm going to be going over the actual skill tree now. So you can either just stop and take your screenshots. I'll just run through them really quickly for the people that just want to take a screenshot. There you go. And now I'll explain why I put whatever points I did into all these categories. So my main thing was focusing on everything that has to do with critical damage. For things like, you see that this isn't maxed out, it's only at 2. This isn't maxed out, it's only at 2. Where else do I have that? I believe those were all there actually just as filler points because I needed them to progress further on the tree. So those are kind of not important. I use this because it gives me the whenever I score a critical hit, I have a chance to get back in ammo. That's just for if I'm going against a more difficult boss, or like how the new DLC came out. If I'm not just using a Krakatoa, because sometimes it isn't the best weapon to use. If I'm using a critical AR like the Rowan's Call that gives me ammo already, I can I can kind of like buff that effect with this. Then there's this ambush predator. While there are no enemies nearby, flags while handling a critical hit damage are increased. Now, I put this as a just in case because I'm not too... I don't know personally if, because of how far Grave Ward is, if it helps, like it doesn't register as him being technically nearby, but I put it on there just to have it. It'll come in clutch in certain situations. Let's say that you're using, like how I use Krakatoa, you're far away from somebody, a pretty big boss, you haven't spawned in already, he killed you, whatever, you come back to re-challenge him and he's across the map, he's not locked onto you yet, so it will come in handy. I have this just for the sake of getting a little bit more extra money. Maybe you don't have all your SDUs maxed out, or since the new DLC does allow you to buy legendaries in the vending machines now, spoilers, sorry, you will be wanting to have a little bit more money in your bank. Now, let's see. Flak has a chance to fire an extra projectile per shot. I want to say I noticed a difference because there are times where I melt him stupidly fast. Like I kind of forget about this perk. Two Fang is a very slept on perk. It is really good. You should definitely put 5 points into that. Then we have 3 points into big game. This is a hunter skill, become more effective. Yeah, your hunter skills become more effective and have a longer duration. Now, Galactic Showdown and Grim Harvest are extremely good. Flak deals increased critical hit damage and enemies are less likely to attack him. This comes in clutch in those situations where you feel like enemies are just aimbotting the shit out of you. You're just running through, you're just trying to sprint through, or you're going into a boss fight, and all those little passive mobs, if that's what you want to call them, they just lock onto you and it's like they don't miss a singular shot, and you go from full health to nothing in maybe 5 seconds. It does help. You will notice it in the long run. When you're testing, you might not realize it, like, oh, you might feel like you died just as fast, but if you're playing in that moment, you do realize, like, oh wait, actually I did survive a lot longer than I normally would have. So it's good. And then there's 5 points in Grim Harvest. Flak gains increased gun damage and action skill damage. So now we're gonna move on to the green tree. Sorry about that. You do not need to run this last one. Practice hitting your critical shots. Just you'll save yourself a point. There's no need for you to have an ability and waste a point on an ability that gives you a chance to hit a critical at any part of the body, when with a little bit of practice you can just hit it yourself and you can become consistent at it. So practice hitting your critical shots. You won't even need this. Now into the green tree, you're going to put 3 into self-repairing system just for the sake of needing it later down the road to unlock parts of the skill tree. You're going to put 5 into furious attack. This will, after shooting an enemy, Flak gains a stack of furious attack. Now when you're just constantly drilling Grave Ward into those crit spots, the little bit of extra damage, you not missing a shot, especially since it's in a critical spot, will help. It does help a lot more too if you have a instead of a Deadeye class mod that I have, you have one of the stack bot ones from the Moxie's Heist, because the more consecutive critical hits that you hit, you get like a damage boost. I believe it's 1%. I could be wrong on that though, but you try to get one with the sniper rifle damage buff and it'll be good for you. So now you put 5 into overclocked. Flak gains increased fire rate. More fire rate means more DPS. I like having lick the wounds. If you don't want to have it, you don't have to have it, but I like having it because in more often times than not, even if you're doing a quest that gives you teammates like Amara's walking with you, I mean not Mara, Maya's walking with you, or somebody like a character in the game is actually playing side by side with you, chances are they're not gonna revive you. Your pet will haul ass over to you if you go down. Sometimes it's a little bit delay, like he might take a second to lock out off of whatever enemy he was already shooting at, but more oftentimes than not, your pet will instantly get you back up, and it's a very, very good perk to have for somebody that doesn't want to just sweat their heart out. They want to play casual, they want to just have fun. They don't want to have to be leaning into their seat, you know, TV or monitor, whatever you play on, and have to focus up on survivability. You can just chill, and your pet will have your back. Now, turn, tail, and run will have 3 in it. While moving, Flat constantly regenerates health and gains damage reduction, while still, Flat gains gun damage and fire rate. Now, this is extremely good because as you see me farming Graveboard, I always go to that little the not smooth, but it's like the where the divot to the hole actually starts. You don't slide there, so you're standing still. While you're standing still and you're shooting him and hit crit spots, you're getting constant buffs. So very good perk to have. Definitely max that out. The Fast and Furious, while above half health, once again, you're going to be going into gunfights in fadeaway, or you're going to be activating fadeaway in front of somebody, and they will cease to lock onto you, so you'll most likely be above health. There are occasions, I don't know if this is only a PS4 thing because I don't see it that much when I watch PC YouTubers, but there are times where you'll be in fadeaway and you'll still be getting locked onto pretty hard. I don't know what's up with that, if it's a bug, if it's intentional, I don't know the mechanics behind that, but you're most likely going to be, especially running fadeaway, above half health at all times. So the 42% gun damage buff and the movement speed, especially if there's something in the game, as I'm kind of new to the game, so I don't know that much, but if there's something that you could have in your like inventory loadout that would boost that will give you damage buffs based on how fast you're moving, if you have something like that, this could help contribute to it. You know, you could do a few little combinations of your own. When an enemy has no target or is attacking a different target, Flak deals increased damage. I like to have this because sometimes enemies lock onto your pet instead of you. It's helpful if you're running with a friend. It's helpful, they lock onto your friend. Sometimes mobs will fight each other. What am I doing? Yeah, sometimes mobs will fight each other, so having this is really good. And then you just want to have this last one because the plus 25% damage obviously helps. Every little bit of damage helps. Every little bit of critical damage helps. In Flak, you do want to prioritize all the critical damage things over the damage things, but whatever little bit of damage you can sneak in there, go for it. Now, for the extra points that you get with the new level cap, it's 4. This is only 3. You can throw, you know, I showed you where to put the other ones over here. 3 out of those 4 are coming over to Persistence Hunter. If it wasn't for the buff, I mean well, let me correct myself. If it wasn't for the level cap, and let's say that you're still playing a level 53 character, you haven't gotten him up to 57 yet, then don't worry about the blue tree. You do everything else in these trees. I'm going to be going through all the trees one more time just so you can get your screenshots, pause, do whatever you need to do. This is your red, green, blue. That was my Flak build. I'm going to be doing one more run just so you can see it again. I'll be showing you the buffs and debuffs on the run just so you know that it's not I got lucky, and you know this build only works with when you have a good buff on your Mayhem 4. And also, I haven't tried it, but I guess I'll try it right now to show you how good it works without Guardian rank. I know that that's a big problem for some people, you know, Guardian rank being like it's too much of a advantage for people that have time into the game. If you're new and you don't have Guardian rank, it just you'll kind of be at a disadvantage. I'll take that off right now, so just give me 1 second. Alright, so that's disabled. I'm going to show you what the buff is. So it's shotgun damage. It has nothing to do with my sniper. So let's see how good I do. Never tried this without guardian ranks. So this is gonna be interesting. Let's see if I can still kill him in a clip. You can still kill him in a clip, and as you saw, I was kind of I was kind of more so looking at something else on my screen. I was looking at the numbers rather than focusing actually hitting the crit spot, so I did miss like 2 of them. It's fine, you know, I missed and I still was able to kill him in a clip. So if you're hitting all of yours, I think I only missed two shots. You could go back and look at that. I think I only missed 2 shots and was still able to kill him in a clip. You know, got some decent loot. If you as I said, if you want to get better loot, it's just something nice to add. The feeling lucky artifacts are really good just for farming, so make sure you definitely have one of those. And yeah, that was my flak build. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you need me to make a build for another character. I do have a level 53 Amara I need to get up to level 57, but once I get her up there, I will definitely make that video for you guys if you want to see it. I'm still new to this game. I still have to do Moze and Zane, but I will definitely be getting to that, especially if you guys want to see that happen. So like, leave a comment, subscribe, and let me know what you want to see next. I do also play Black Ops 4 and a little bit of Overwatch, Realm Royale with one of my friends, Gerald, etc, etc. Just let me know what games you want to see me play, and I'll see if I can make it happen. Thanks for watching. Later.